All right, guys, today I want to talk about 6 common marketing mistakes to avoid. And all 6 of these I have made. And that's okay, because if you're not making mistakes, then you're not trying new things and you're not growing. But the best thing then is to obviously adjust, adapt, and try not to repeat them as much as you can. So these are 6 tips and mistakes that I've made with marketing. And most of them will be kind of more relatable to social media. So the number one mistake I think that, I've made even initially is just not knowing the goal and why you're really doing it. Like not sitting down and taking the time to think about, okay, why am I doing this? And what am I really trying to achieve here? So knowing why you're posting in the first place is critical. Are you simply posting to grow a following and become an influencer? Are you trying to actually have a presence to then boost the sales for your business? You really need to figure this out, but ideally before you start, or at least as you go. And this will help you create a strategy that works and can help keep you accountable if you want to procrastinate. So a good action or something I would recommend doing, and what I kind of did after getting the ball rolling with our different posts, was just taking the time to sit down and think about, okay, why are we really doing this? And the deeper reason into why social media for us. And again, it could vary between everyone. Are you wanting increased sales for your business, influencer status? Are you just trying to get out of your comfort zone? Maybe even all the above. I know, like for me in particular, I wanted to have a online presence and kind of boost that following. But at the end of the day, you really are trying to, at least for me, increase new patients, provide as much value to patients as we can away from the office, which will ultimately result, I believe, in an increased basically growth for the business. Number 2, quantity versus quality. Ideally, you would have a balance of both, but if I had to pick one for social platforms, I'd go for quantity. Quality is great, but it's highly subjective, and your followers will have different opinions on the quality of your posts. It's really easy, trust me, I know what it's like as far as wanting everything to be perfect, as far as the lighting, the microphone, the sound, just everything, and letting that kind of get in the way or stop you from doing what you know you ought to be doing. The last thing you want to do with something like this is overthink things and, spend 2 hours perfecting a post and then have it show up on a feed for 3 seconds and then be forgotten. I mean, everyone today is competing so much for people's attention, and our attention spans are shorter than they've ever been. So it's easy to get kind of crowded out in this busy, basically content-rich world that we live in. And so unless you're putting together like a really in-depth video or blog, I think it's critically important to be posting consistently and have a lot of quantity regarding your different posts, so that instead of showing up on someone's feed once every 4 days, you're showing up on it multiple times, maybe even in the day. So an action that I would encourage you for this is to try and come up with a post that you could put together in less than 2 minutes. If you're somebody like me who honestly, I tend to overthink and think a lot about different things, which I'm trying to work on. But I would encourage you, and I've tried to work on this too, as far as literally just, okay, post it. Let's shoot this video, first take, let's post it. Or put together a story that literally takes 30 seconds or a minute. Don't overthink it. Don't over edit it. Just get it out there and get going with it. Number 3, procrastination and overthinking. So I know it's important to have a great strategy in place after figuring out your end game and what results you really wanted to achieve, but you will learn more by doing. You could strategize and sit and plan all day and read different books and different tips on different ways to improve your marketing or your social media. But unless you get out there and start doing it, you might learn, but you're not going to learn as much or as quickly. Like speed kills. And just in my experience, we thought we'd have our process perfected as far as our workflow for all of and our distribution for all of our content. And then we would literally a month later, 3 weeks later, be like, no, we need to do this completely differently. So trial and error is the best way to develop your strategy. And again, you'll learn more as you go. With regards to kind of, again, procrastination and overthinking, if you've ever heard the law of diminishing returns, this states that if an idea or thing you want to do pops into your mind, you should act and do it as soon as possible. Strike while the iron is hot, while the idea is fresh, and while that energy is there. Don't circle back to it later, because you'll be less motivated, less energetic, and less likely to ever do it. Typically, this results in your ideas kind of dissipating and never being acted upon. I mean, this can be something as basic as texting a friend and say, hey, what's up? Just want to check on you, see how you're doing. Calling a family member, sending your grandma a thank you note or someone a thank you note. Like, if it comes into your head, you don't want to fill your schedule with distractions, but if it comes into your head and you have the time to execute it and do it, just get it done, go, let it fly. Overthinking and procrastination are typically a result of being indecisive and unsure, and maybe even rooted in a fear of failure or the unknown. Sometimes for this, it takes a deeper look into the mirror to figure out why we are truly putting things off or waiting to be perfect before doing anything. I know I've struggled with this as far as it's too easy to... I put off shooting videos for our social media for a year or two because I honestly thought I was just not quite confident enough standing in front of the camera. And I knew it was something that we should be doing to provide value to our patients and to grow our presence. But it was a deeper kind of psychological thing going on that kind of prevented me and kept me from doing it. And just little by little, we kind of kept chipping away at it. And it's, eventually kind of helped to take shape. So you will gain more confidence by taking action than waiting. All waiting does, or procrastinating, is it just confirms some of the negative thoughts or beliefs that you may have, or doubts that you may have. And which positive self-image do you really want to reinforce? The one associated with procrastinating or the one associated with progress? So it's going to be uncomfortable. Don't wait for it to be perfect. Just get out there and do it. Another mistake that I've made, and that I think is a marketing mistake, is not having a marketing team or group of people to help you execute the strategy and the tactics that you want. So I'm a believer that having the least busy staff member or significant other managing the social media content and posting, and even maybe the ads, will be significantly less effective than having a dedicated team or team members to do it. It may be cost effective and you may post some content on your page, but in order to, I feel like, really execute well, keep metrics and adapt, it's better to hire and build a team out. And if you can't right now, then here's a good step to take. Figure out how much you currently spend on marketing and advertising, and see if you can come up with a number in your budget to have a dedicated team member or to start building a team to help you achieve your goals. I know that you'll be surprised how many things can get done and how much you can improve what you're doing. Another mistake that I made, and I think that a lot of small businesses make, is underutilizing ads. So when we first started doing different things, we were kind of more content focused as far as trying to provide value to our patients and actually have stuff on our profiles. And I think we way underutilized the ads. So social media ads are an incredibly powerful tool, and they allow you to be very specific with who you are targeting. If you're posting content to your feed, typically the people will see that are your followers, and then maybe somebody else who the post gets promoted to. But with ads, you can pick literally a very specific demographic or group of people that you would like to see the ad. And on top of this, after they view your ad, you can then retarget these individuals and help them to see basically more of your ads. So it's just if you're really looking kind of to be more business oriented, I guess, or even if you're just trying to grow your social following or as an influencer or anything like that, you can take whatever post you want, target to a specific group of people, and then kind of retarget that. And to me, it's just an easy way. easy way of feeling more intentional, strategic, and kind of tactical as far as the effort and time that you're putting into your social media presence. I think it's a mistake to, in my opinion, to be posting a ton of content to your feed if you're looking to grow a business, but not running any social media ads. So an action to take or think about would be, if there is one product, promotion, or even a piece of information that you could put together and you could create an ad for, what would it be? It doesn't necessarily have to be, again, a 50% coupon off. It could be literally a great piece of valuable information that you would think a potential client or customer would love to see. I suggest just picking one of them that you'd want to promote, just so you can practice getting familiar with the different platforms and the different ways that you execute ads on them. And then you create basically 2 or 3 of the same ad, but just presented differently. Maybe you do a video on one and a static image on the other, or you change your copy or your wording, just so that you can see which one actually performs best. And I think that you'll be amazed at the results. I know that we've had a lot of success in just tweaking, whether we do it as a video or static image, having the offer on there, different links. There's just so many variables, and you just have to assume that you don't know, and that we don't really know anything, and that you just see how customers respond to it, or prospective customers, and then kind of adapt and go from there. Lastly, I believe that treating all platforms the same is a mistake. So, Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, YouTube, TikTok, etc. are all different beasts with different audiences seeking different things. It's less effective to take the same post in the same format and spread it out across all platforms without tweaking it to better engage the distinctly different audiences. If you just take the same post and post it on all of them, yes, you are doing something, which is great. It's better than not doing anything. But it has to be, I believe, even more kind of tactical, in a sense of on TikTok, are you going to film more videos and be kind of goofy, versus LinkedIn and sending someone a more business-oriented presentation of your information, or even Instagram and Facebook? Basically, all the audiences are going to be different, and that you just kind of have to be in tune and aware with which audiences are on the different platforms, and then at least just kind of learn and adapt and grow on the best way to present your information to the different audiences on your different platforms. Again, think about the why here. What makes your audience want to follow you on different platforms if they all have the same content? What entices them to really engage with you on multiple platforms? And for us, we've learned this too. I mean, we've taken a same dental post and basically just posted it the same way on YouTube, on Instagram, on Facebook, on TikTok. And, they had some views and traction and different things like that. But we realized that it just has to be so much more intentional and specific as far as, our informational video that we put on our Instagram feed. If we do it on TikTok, we literally, even if it takes more time, we will reshoot the video to be specifically for TikTok. And then we'll reshoot a different video to be specifically for Instagram. Or even YouTube. And it really just kind of varies. So depending on what your goals are, think about where your best intended audience is spending time, and try and tailor your content to the platform you expect to reach your audience the most. And remember, guys, overall, kind of in summation here, mistakes are stepping stones towards progress in your dreams. So don't be afraid to feel awkward and stumble, and just jump in and start doing it, and start down your journey of your different marketing tactics that you're going to experiment with, different strategies, and your overall kind of social media journey. Feel free to message us if you'd like. If you have any questions, you'd like any input, any help, or any suggestions to help us get better at what we're doing. So thanks for your time, guys. Cheers.